This is part 3 of updating my net worth as a 34-year-old multimillionaire with FU money. In parts 1 and 2, we talked about my private real estate investments valued at $1.3 million, and then I talked about my stock market investments valued at $5.425 million. Now we are moving on to what I call my GIC ladder, in which I have $350,000. This is a protective play for early retirement. So essentially what I have done is put 1 year's worth of living expenses into a 1-year GIC, 1 year into a 2-year GIC, and 1 year into a 3-year GIC, creating a ladder. A GIC is a guaranteed investment certificate. So basically you are guaranteed to get the return that was promised to you when you bought the investment. I locked a lot of these in when interest rates were very high, so I'm sitting at around 5% for them right now. Having this GIC ladder helps protect me from something called sequence of returns risk. Basically, if the market crashes the moment that you retire and you are forced to sell while prices are down, you are locking in your losses and you are putting your retirement at risk. But by having 3 years worth of expenses, I give myself the stability to ride out any short-term ups and downs in my investments. Next up, I have my rental property. Okay, so when we are including this in my net worth, remember it's always what you own minus what you owe. So the value of the asset, which is about $1 million, minus what I owe is the mortgage on the property, which is $500K. This rental property provides me with about $300 a month in cash flow. And now this is not huge, okay, but I see this rental property as a long-term play. Once the mortgage is paid off, I'll be making about $4,000 a month in free cash flow. And in the meantime, the property is still appreciating, which means going up in value. I'm also going to include my primary residence here because it is technically part of my net worth, even though it is not an investable asset. I am just living in this money. I bought this property for about $1.2 million, and if I sold it today, could probably get around $1.8 million. This property has no mortgage on it, but this is what I'm saying when I talk about like, you're just living in your money. If you have an expensive house or if your house is paid off, that's great, but it's not supporting your lifestyle the same way investments would. So in the future, if I decide to sell or downsize, then I could pull out some of that money and add that to my investments to help support my lifestyle. But as of right now, it's just the house that I live in. So it still counts, but it's not liquid. I also have various other accounts adding up to about $200,000. This brings my total net worth to just shy of $10 million. What you need to understand here is that doesn't include future appreciation. And this is what I consider to be fuck you money, okay? It's not yachts and jets, it's freedom, it's peace, it's choices. It's building a life where you get to choose where you spend your time and your energy. Now, if you want to learn how I went from $40,000 in debt to millionaire at 30 years old, check my link in bio. I have a bunch of free trainings available, or you can apply to work with me as your 7-figure mentor. Let's go.